Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we're going to discuss some of what happened in the Instagram Live the other night with Nicki Minaj and Kevin Samuels, who made an appearance. It's about 20 minutes, and I'll, of course, link in the description box so you guys can check out everything for yourselves. But there's a few clips in particular that I wanted to play, and I then wanted to give my reaction to because it was a little interesting. It was a very different Kevin Samuels that you see on, his show and everything else. It's a completely different energy. So here's the initial part of it.
Let me tell you. You see, let me tell you why I love the universe, and I am a firm believer of the universe.
Okay.
Listen, I wanted to get on and talk to you for a very long time.
Is that right?
That's very right.
What we got?
So I want to know what you gotta, let's have this real talk.
So that was the initial greetings because Nicki Minaj, has obviously heard of Kevin Samuels. I think she had over 55,000 people at this live, at this particular junction of the live. And, heard a lot about him and kind of wanted to have a conversation. And she even invited him to be on Queen Radio in like a month or two from now. So here is another moment. There's so many. Here's this one.
Talking about if these niggas want us or not. Excuse me, Kevin. This is not. I'm talking to black women real quick. Can we stop posting all day on TikTok? Because I newly went to TikTok and I just kept seeing this. Mm-hmm. Black women, can we stop talking about if these successful black men want us or not? Mm-hmm. Like, can we just focus on us and we be successful and then we go out there and we decide who the fuck we want? Because what I've been seeing is, I feel like I've been seeing men using that as an opportunity because they've been hurt and somebody done and they've been using it as a way to come out and lash out and poke fun at black women and use it as a way to feel like they somebody or they something. Or so for all you niggas that's doing that on TikTok, wherever the fuck y'all at, eat a dick, go away. Nobody gives a shit about you. And I want black women to stop fucking posting about whether or not y'all want black women or not. Okay? Well, I want black women just to focus on themselves, be successful, and then you go out there and you decide the trajectory of your life. Okay?
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of hurt on both sides. And especially in the black community, we don't really do a lot of counseling, therapy. I recommend therapy often because we got a lot of stuff individually that we want to deal with. And marriage and relationships are not for everybody. And I'm just trying to, ultimately I ask people, what do you want? What do you want? And what are you prepared to do to get what you want? And are you willing to pay that cost? It's really the conversation, but it always gets kind of whittled down. But at the end of the day, what we are seeing is, especially if you're under 30, it's harder for guys today under 30 than it was from 50 years ago because you can't take care of a family going out of high school or just coming out. So they're at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I just had men's week, and I told guys, look, while you
So a lot about that clip. Separate from the vulgar language that Nicki Minaj was using, I do agree to an extent about the excessive posting. Why doesn't black men want us? Because I don't believe that narrative to be true, because Kevin Samuels also said in the same clip a little bit later that over 85% of black men are married to black women. And the other side that you have to break down is what type of success are we talking about? Are we talking about the entertainment business? Are we talking about the athlete sector? Or are we just talking about straight a successful business black man? So, and I feel like overall that technically might not matter in the grand scheme of things if 85% overall are married to black women. But I find it interesting that Kevin Samuels is taking this approach, saying that he is an advocate of black women and all this and that. But then when you go to his shows, it is always some mess with these rankings with these black women. And I find it interesting that he said in this clip that, you know, black men should not be involved with women who are under the age of 30 because now you need work years of experience. You need a lot more capital this day and age before you can really start a family. Like now when you graduate from college, you're not automatically just going to go into a 6-figure job in certain degrees and certain specialties. So, but it's interesting because when you watch his show, he tells women that if they are over the age of 25, that some of them are damaged goods. So I'm like, well, which is it? Do you have to be, 25 or under to get the high value man? Or can you just be yourself at any age, have your stuff together, be successful, and you're going to do you anyways, regardless? So, but then the other side to that is there also are a lot of interracial couples and a lot of interracial couples that are black women and white men who post quite a bit on social media. And it's not always the same love and energy that is happening on the other side of things. I feel like it's kind of a double standard. I feel like certain people, it's more accepted on certain interracial relationships, but let it be a black woman and a white man, and it's not the same energy. It is not the same energy. There's love there, but there's also a lot of hate too. So we got to keep it a buck across the board. If we're going to ask black women on TikTok not to ask questions about whether or not black men want them, we need to also have the other conversation about the hate that happens when black women and white men post. So, another clip I wanted to play is this one, because this one, again, it speaks to what a lot of the time the clips that Nicki Minaj will be sent to, because she basically said on this 18 minutes that she is not familiar with all of the things that he says, because I guess the Barbs were in the comments telling Nicki Minaj to take a go at Kevin Samuels and to say all of these things to Kevin Samuels. However, from her perspective, she felt as though, okay, how am I supposed to, evaluate your claims and your concerns if I don't have the facts in that? So that is where she strictly was taking this conversation for face value for what it was and asking her own questions. But I implore Nicki Minaj, if she does intend on having Kevin Samuels on Queen Radio, that she is provided the appropriate amount of shows and receipts and everything else on Kevin Samuels as to why there were so many issues and discord among black women who had issues with some of the things that he was saying on some of his programming, because this is not the same Kevin Samuels that you guys see on the regular show. So it's a very different energy. So let me get into this clip.
I guess it was a white lady or a Hispanic lady. I didn't see the context really, but
well, I get a rap of hating black women, and it's far from that. I mean, there are over 50 black women who report that they've gotten married as a result of watching my content in the last year.
Really?
It's on my Instagram. I actually had a young sister just post up saying, "Hey, as a result of you, I snatched the ring." I just actually posted a brother who was about to move to the Dominican Republic, and he found his wife in my Facebook group. Like 12 couples have gotten married in there. But that stuff doesn't get publicized. But when I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about men and women, but because I'm black, I'm talking about us. And from time to time, I would bring stuff in, and then a lot of times, sisters would say, well, men, when they get to a certain level, they only want white women or this or that. So I let women from other races come in. I'm like, okay, well, can you learn anything from them? What would you teach them? And the one woman came in, and she thought she was going to do what I did to black women. I'm like, hold on, wait. Now, we can talk this way. Carrie, you sit your ass down over there. Because I don't play that. I wouldn't let, despite popular opinion, I love my mother, I love my daughter. But we do have to have a family conversation. And what's starting to happen more is actually we're starting to have more conversations about this. It ain't comfortable, but we're starting to see progress.
Well, look.
So that is an interesting clip because I don't always feel it's the same energy that Kevin Samuels gives to other black women. And he also said in this live that he felt certain black women were going on his show as a joke. And so therefore he chose to give a certain reaction to them in response to that. But I disagree with that notion. I think there are black women who are genuinely going on Kevin Samuels' show because they want to hear how he ranks them and they want to hear what he has to say. I don't think that some of them are going on there to troll or to be a joke. I think some of them are genuinely going on there because they think that Kevin Samuels can help them, and then it turns left. It goes completely left. Or they sometimes get attacked if, they feel that they're bringing certain things to the table, and then Kevin Samuels does and totally, shuts down their dream. So it's not always a positive experience, or he's always, being this and this, like how calm and cool and collected he is right now with Nicki Minaj is not the same energy that he gives some of the black women that do come on his platform. And I would also argue, I did watch a couple of his episodes where he had white women and he had Asian women on and he had Hispanic women on to basically say that they are the women that's taking all the black men, and how the black men want them because they're submissive and, quote, don't get an attitude and, quote, don't have weight issues. So it's not always this energy that, everything's all on the up and up on these shows. There are some very problematic clips as to why they are going around. But I will see if Kevin Samuels is, being transparent on that the conversations are getting better, or if he was just saying that because there were 60,000 people in the live and he wanted to, paint the certain picture or what have you that people may have misconstrued. One last clip I wanted to play, and then I wanted to kind of do a deeper dive as well, is the ranking conversation. What does Kevin Samuels rank Nicki Minaj, and what did Nicki Minaj rank herself? So here we go.
Is that what we're starting off with?
Yeah.
I don't typically rank people. I ask them if they rank themselves. I usually ask these questions.
Oh, let's start it that way.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Dress size?
My dress size? Mm-hmm. Don said, my dress size? That's a good question. I guess a 4?
All right. And on a scale from 1 to 10, you can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? Fresh face out of the shower, just you.
Yeah, 7.
Can't use 7. 7 is the most common answer.
Really?
It's a default answer for most people because they don't want to go too high, they don't want to go too low.
Well, no, it ain't a default answer for me.
Well, let's see. I would give you a 9. I would give you 9 because you have the facial symmetry and you get additional points for eyes. Full lips. See, I'm an actual image consultant.
So it's very interesting to me what Kevin Samuels ranks Nicki Minaj, and they talk about her being married, but not who she's married to. And that was an interesting question because when he asked Nicki Minaj if she was married, she kind of gave this pause before she answered and like slowly nodded yes. And I'm like, well, if you're truly married, why not just say yes right off the top? Like, why do you have to think about it? So that was a little bit weird. But I have to wonder, is he saying all of this? Is he buttering Nicki Minaj up because she's allegedly worth almost $100 million and she's successful and she's a celebrity? Like, let's keep it a buck. Is that really why he's buttering up and saying all these things, or is he being genuine? Because this is not how he talks to the other black women on his shows. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not the same energy at all. It seems like it's going to start off decent, but then it quickly goes left. The minute that somebody says something that he disagrees with or he doesn't like what they say, he completely gets on the defensive and starts and goes in on the attack. So this whole thing that, you know, we're having a better conversation and this and that. No. I need to see receipts, because the conversations that I've seen are not that. Now, it's one thing if you're trying to get your point across, and we don't have to agree on what your thought process is, you know, versus another person's. However, I don't want people to go down the same path as, you know, what they did with Derek Jackson, thinking that his philosophies are the end all and be all on what you need to do to attract black men, and then things go completely left. Or things don't work out as planned, and then you go on Kevin Samuels' show, and then things, you know, completely take a turn for the worse. And then he says that he has 50 couples that got together, 50 black couples. But I wonder, from his Facebook group, how many members are in that Facebook group that 50 couples got together. So I am curious to find out that. What is the ratio of the people that are in that Facebook group as far as men to women and, you know, producing the 50 couples? That I'm curious to see. So, and then the rest of the conversation, the bulk of the conversation was about sex and sexual needs and sexual prowess and how men view sex and how women view sex, and how Kevin Samuels has a speaking engagement coming up with a sexologist, to where he's trying to learn some things that he may not know. Although he's, you know, telling a certain strategy, so to speak, to women as it pertains to sex on his own show. So it's very interesting to me overall. I did like that, you know, it was a fair conversation. I feel like I said, if Kevin Samuels took this approach to his actual show, the way that he was talking to Nicki Minaj, I think there would be a lot more positive reactions and positive feedback from people. But I think what happens is when we get these clips of these women rankings or them going back and forth with Kevin Samuels, it turns off a lot of people. It makes people disinterested, and it makes people feel a certain type of way. That what is the purpose of this? Are we doing this for clicks and views? Are we doing this to gaslight certain black women and make them feel a certain type of way, versus having a real conversation about what it really is? And, you know, you can agree to disagree, but not get on the defense or not start going back and forth like this and trolling them. And I think that's where people have the issue. So if he approached the show like he's doing with Nicki Minaj, then we obviously wouldn't be talking about him, right? We wouldn't have anything to say, right? Because there would be nobody critiquing him. But because there's been so many viral moments against black women, that is why he continues to be talked about. That's why his videos continue to go viral, because it's always something that goes left. Now, like I said, I will link in the description box the full 20-minute conversation so you guys can kind of see for yourselves, because I have some other thoughts about the slanted eyes comment that he made too. That it was nice that Nicki Minaj had slanted eyes, even though she was not Asian. And I was like, what is so it's just comments like that I'm like, okay, really, Kevin Samuels, like, this is what we're doing? And then it's like, he really only said that he really only cares about his black mom and his black daughter, but everybody else essentially is free game. So that I had an issue with too, because why can't you give all Black women the same level of respect and decency and energy that you showed grace with Nicki Minaj and went on her Instagram live to have a conversation with her? So again, I hope if Nicki Minaj does follow through and has him on Queen Radio, that she does have all of the proper receipts and the full context of a lot of Kevin Samuels shows as far as what happens and what takes place and this and that, versus, you know, some of the other shenanigans and foolery that's happening. So I am very curious to see what happens there. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the clips that you heard. What do you guys think of this Instagram live? Do you guys think it was productive? Do you think it was fake news? Do you think it showed Kevin Samuels in a different light than what you were used to seeing on his platform, on his shows? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Please let me know. Those of you, it's your first time viewing my channel, welcome. Please check out my playlist. Please check out other videos I've done, whether it's on celebrities or TV shows or just reacting to different things going on. That's the top trending topics and things of that nature. Please check it out. To my subscribers, you guys are incredible. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciative. I appreciate the energy. I appreciate the engagement, and I appreciate everything. Thank you guys. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.